Hello chopper fans, and in this episode I want to talk about parts that can be swapped from a donor bike onto your Raleigh Chopper, either Mark 1 or a Mark 2, or more recently the new Mark 4. I've heard stories about the Mark 4 where the parts from Taiwan are not particularly up to standard, or the chrome isn't as good as something that was built over 50 years ago. Well, there is another alternative to this. You can fit parts from these bikes onto the new ones, or if you're building your own project, Mark 2 or Mark 1, here's a little tip that might help you. Now, on my right I've got a Raleigh Mark 2, and on my left, which is your right, I've got an RSW 16 Raleigh compact bike. Now, many of the parts can be taken from this bike and put onto a Raleigh Chopper, and the video is about which parts can I take from an RSW 16 and put on to a Mark II or a Mark 1 chopper. Now, for those of you who are absolute purists, it won't do you any good because you'll want original chopper parts, but for those of you who are a bit less fussy and still want a high quality part for your Raleigh Chopper, you may well consider buying one of these bikes. Now, these bikes have been raped over the years for their parts and are becoming a little bit rare, but you can still find plenty of them in the classifieds. I've seen them from as little as £18. Particularly one in an auction I went to recently as well. So it's well worth considering getting one of these as a donor bike for a Mark 1 or a Mark 2. However, I will never break this one up because I do like particularly the folding RSW. I think it's a very nice bike in its own right anyway, and you could save yourself some money. Now, the parts I'm going to show you, there are probably other bits that I've missed and I don't know about, and well, if there are, please comment below on any other parts that you might know that will transfer over from an RSW 16 to the original Mark 1 or Mark 2 or now Mark 4. The first part you may well consider taking from an RSW 16 is the front wheel. Although it was manufactured by Dunlop, for those who are not too fussy, it hasn't got to be Sturmey Archer. It is a direct swap for the Mark II. Although the Mark II hasn't got the dimples in there, the other one has. Like I say, it's not exhaustive, but it is a direct swap for the one for the other. The other thing on the RSW is obviously the front forks, although there will be some modification with this length here, as on the RSW it is longer. The other part to consider taking is the lamp bracket, which is a high quality chrome. Now, on the Mark IV, this isn't so good in my opinion, so this one actually might be better, which also can be found on some of the RSWs. I know about this going through here before anybody comments. That's got to come out. So the lamp bracket. The other thing you might consider is the badge off the front. As an original badge, it does fit the Raleigh Chopper. Other things to consider are the brake levers, which is another direct swap for the Mark II. Can be swapped over. If you're not too fussed about the colour of those, you can either have the cables, which can also be swapped, and not forgetting the high quality chrome of the front brake calipers along with the pads. That is again a direct swap for the 2 or 1 is exactly the same. Next thing to consider is the crank arm and crank. It will fit the Mark II. However, if you don't mind the crank arm being longer, as you can see on the Mark II, it's a shorter crank. I don't know whether you can see that, but you can transfer that onto a Mark II or a Mark I. Now, to some people, they don't mind having the longer crank, particularly taller people. They actually find it more comfortable to ride a chopper with the longer crank. So that's another thing that can be swapped over. Other common parts between the two bikes that you may not know about and you might want to consider is the seat post. Now, this is the seat post of the RSW16. Exactly the same as the Mark II and Mark I chopper, but you've got this part here. All you've got to do is simply saw that off and you've got a high quality chrome seat post for your chopper bike. Something else to consider is the hub. Now, the actual shell of the hub is different by the fact it's got more holes in the chopper bike than it has in the RSW16, so you can't actually use the shell, but the internals of the gears can. You can actually remove the internals and this cog, and if you've got trouble with your gearbox hub on your Mark II, you can actually swap the innards for the Mark II or Mark I Raleigh Chopper, but sadly not the Mark IV because it's different on that particular model. So you've got R-nuts which can be brought across, you've got clips and stuff like that which can be swapped across. The stand, it's only any good on the early Mark I models, sadly not the Mark II. It's a different stand. So as you can see, it is beneficial, or it may be beneficial to you, to purchase one of these RSW16s. It doesn't have to be the folding one, it can be the Mark I, II or III RSW16. And yes, a lot of these parts can be transferred across to your Raleigh Mark I and Mark II. Obviously you've got other stuff like the chain which can be used again, and it's an original chain you're interested in. All I point out to you, to the purists out there, you're not going to be doing this because you want original Raleigh Chopper parts. I understand that, but for some of us who are not too fussed about it but still want the quality and Raleigh, which is important, these parts can be used from this bike across to that one. Thanks for watching Iconic Brands, and I hope this helps you with your Raleigh Chopper build, or whether you're just considering a project. It may well worth your while going out and getting yourself one of these bikes. And like I said before in other videos, I think these are a beautiful bike, and I certainly won't be breaking this one up for a Raleigh Chopper because I actually really like these. Are one of my personal favourites anyway, and it's still handy. It folds up and I can get it in the back of the car for occasional rides and shows. So I hope this helped you, and not forgetting the tyres. Again, usually they're white tyres on the RSW, but hey ho, if you're not too fussed, they will fit the front tyre of the front wheel on a Raleigh Chopper Mark I, II, or even a Mark III for that matter. The tyres will fit, because occasionally you can pick these RSWs up and they will be fitted with the Chopper tyres with the red line on them. So yes, you do get the odd one, so keep your eyes on the classifieds for that, and good luck, good hunting. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Thanks for watching Iconic Brands. Here's some other videos you may well be interested in seeing.